is Education Online. You're most welcome. My name is Teacher Olonya Agnes Okot. Today, I'm going to teach you English language for secondary school. And in our lesson of today, we are continuing to look at grammar. And this grammar is meant for senior 1 and 2. Senior 1 and 2. So, my dear senior 1 and 2, you have to be ready and learn with me. We are going to continue to look at our previous topic. You remember we looked at what we call homophones in English language. In our previous lesson, I stated clearly that homophones come from two words. Homo, which means one, sound, which is under phone. So these word phones mean sounds. Here I told you clearly that homophone means the study of words with the same sound or one sound. So the sound must be similar or the same. I told you clearly also that under homophones we have two categories. The first one that we saw last time was this type of homophones whereby the words are spelled differently with different meanings but same sound. Here, same sound, different meaning, and different spelling. Pardon me, different spelling. Mark me right here, senior 2 and senior 1. Sound the same, one sound, but different meaning, different spelling. Example. I give you so many examples. For instance, we said examples, words like advice and advice. Advice is a noun. Is the good teaching or counseling you give to someone. Meanwhile, advice is a verb, which means to teach someone also or to guide someone, to counsel someone is a verb. Meanwhile, this one noun. Words like practice and practice. You see, the sounds are the same, almost similar sound or the same, but different spelling with different meanings. So you can see here. Not only that one, we went on to see words like lightning and lightning. You can see almost no difference in the pronunciation or the sound, but different spelling, different meaning. This one means to brighten up. The person brought or bought lightening cream to brighten up. Meanwhile, this one means the electrical charges that happens in the cloud to form fire. Sometimes it happens in the bush. It causes wildfire in the bush. For instance, you can say the tree was struck. From the word strike, was struck by lightning. By lightning. Here. It is this one here, but not this one. Be very careful when you're using these two words. Today, my dear Senior 1 and Senior 2, let us leave this type of homophones where the sounds are the same, different meaning and different spelling. We are going to look at what we call homophones. And under homophones, we will now look at what we call homonyms. Spell it with me. Homonyms is spelled as H. You write the word homo, which means one. Then you write the word nyms. Nyms. Homonyms. Now, what is the difference between homonyms and ordinary or homophones? Here is the only difference. Still here we will start with same, or similar sound. Similar sound. Similar sound. Here we will now come here. Instead of writing different spelling, here we will maintain the word same here. Same spelling. Same spelling. You can now see now the difference. Then here we will maintain our different meaning. Different meaning. Different meaning. Right. This is the only difference. Now, examples. Let us see of these words. Examples of homonyms. These words in English whereby the sounds are the same or similar. The same as the sound can either be the same or just similar. Not only the same spelling, different meaning. One, look at this pair of homonyms. Will and will. Yes. Haven't you ever seen the two words? This one means decision or choice. Decision. Pardon me. Choice. Or interest. I'm willing to do this work. That is what you can say will. He has the will or the interest of doing this. It is your will to leave or take it. You can also use this one as a legal document. Legal document of inheritance. You see? Example. My father never signed his will before he died. So you can see it's a legal document for inheritance. For you to come and inherit something, there must be a legal document called the will. Not only this one, my dear learners, we can also go ahead and look at words like English. This English that we study. English and English down here. Right. What is the meaning of the first one? English can mean the language of the people who come from England. For instance, I am a teacher of English language. You can come here and say, let me write for you one example here. Olunya is a teacher of English language. English language. Still language must be capital. Right, it is a language. Then what about the second English? English is both the language and the people. Just like Chinese. Chinese is the language of people who come from China. Meanwhile, Chinese are the people who are the natives of China. In this case, English in this way now, the people of England. The people of England. Of England. With D. People of England with D. Pardon me. England. Meanwhile, this one is the language of the people of England. Not only that one, my dear Senior 1 and Senior 2. Let us also look at these two words, which are spelled the same or alike. They have the same pronunciation, similar pronunciation rather, but with different meaning. Word like book and book. Right. This one means to make an appointment, to book a place, to make an appointment, to preserve, or make an appointment. For instance, you can say, please book for me a room in Nairobi. You can even say, book for me air ticket. I want to fly to Wow. So in this way, you would have used this one. Yet, you can still use this same word with different meaning. You can say book. Then this one is a piece of book. It's a piece of work. You can say, my notebook. My notebook was stolen. It can also be a piece of writing. For instance, when you look at this one, inside this is a story. And in this case, it's a novel. So some people say, when they say, my book is going to be printed, it means a novel, a play. For instance, Chinua Achebe wrote a book entitled Things Fall Apart. Things Fall Apart. So this one is a book. That is what you can say. A book or a book. To book for me something. Not only that one. Let us see more examples, my dear learners, so that next time you don't confuse yourself. We can come here still. Let me leave for you. We are still looking at homophones. Let me leave for you homophones. Then under it, there is examples. These homonyms, let us continue to look at it. Words like plant and plant. This first one, you can use it as a building meant for industrial work. For instance, you can say, Behind the house, behind the house, there is a generator plant. A generator plant. It must be a building or a house where machines, very many machines, complicated and simple machines are used for production of industrial goods. Then you can also use this one, the second one, as is a type of crops. Can be crops, can be vegetations, can be a tree, whichever. So you can say, I planted my maize. Maize is a crop. I planted my maize. My maize. Now here, plant becomes the crop. In my garden, there are so many plants, or in my garden, there are plants. So that means this one is a type of crop. Even trees are plants. Right. Let us not stop there, my dear learners. We still have very many forms or examples of these homophones here. Look at these three words. Look at these three words. Raw. 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 All raw, raw, raw. But with different meaning. Same spelling, same pronunciation. A raw can be a noun, which means wrangle. Which means wrangle. Wrangle. To wrangle means to conflict with someone. So you can say, my auntie has a very sharp row with my uncle. That means they're in conflict. Meanwhile, the second one can be to pull and push a boat. To pull and push a boat. To pull or even push it. When you're pushing the boat, then you are rowing it. It is a verb in this case. You can use it as a noun. Like in the first case, it is a noun. Here it is a noun. Now here it changes into a verb. Action now. To pull or push it. Then another one is still a noun. The third one is now a noun, which means lines which are side by side. Lines which are side by side. Which are side by side. Example, you can say, Achol and Deng sit in the same row when they're in class. Achol and Deng sit in the same row. In the same row. That means the line which is side by side. Good. Now, if you know how to differentiate between homonyms and ordinary homophones, you will not go wrong. You will know how to use them correctly. We also have words like this one here. Let us write them here also. Words like private and private. Same spelling, same pronunciation, different meaning. private. Private and another private. Right. This one is the lowest rank in the military. The lowest rank in the military. You can say, my uncle is a private in the army. My uncle is a private in the army. He is a private in the army. In the army or in the police. In the forces, just the lowest rank in the forces. Now here, private mean special and selected. Private here means special and isolated. You can use it to construct a sentence by saying, I was treated in the private wing from the hospital. I was treated in the private wing. Private wing at the hospital. At the hospital. Right. So you can now see, I was treated in the private wing at the hospital. So you don't need to confuse yourself. These words can be used in any way, so long as you know where you are applying them. Not only that one. Let us look at words like account and account. Account and account. Account. This one can be a verb. When they say, e.g., this one, when it is a verb, it means it is action in nature. For instance, teachers of history, they like saying, account for the Luo migration in East Africa. That one means give in order what happened. E.g., account for the Luo migration. Luo migration in East Africa. In East Africa. This one, in this case, it is used as a verb. Now let us see when it is used as a noun. Account. You see, the pronunciation changes a little bit. It is not different, but similar. And it is not the same. This one, account. This one, account. Account is a legal contract between the bank and a client. For instance, you can say, I have an account. I have an account with Kenya, with National Bank. You can say have an account with National Bank. National Bank. So you can see, in this case, it's used as a verb. Be very careful. In most cases, what brings problem, my dear senior 1 and 2, is when you don't know how to differentiate whether it is a noun or a verb. So be very careful. The pronunciation will determine. There is also another word which is used as a verb and also a noun. Look at this one here. Look at this word. We have this word stress and stress. You see the difference in the slight difference in the pronunciation? A little bit different. So they have similar pronunciation but not the same, yet they have same spelling with different meaning. Here, when you're using it as a verb, it is pronounced as stress. If you're using it as a noun, it is pronounced as stress. Stress, stress. So in this case, to stress, which is a verb, means to point out, to point out, to point out, or to emphasize, emphasize, to emphasize. So if you want to emphasize, that means you will stress the point. You can even say, please stress that point, emphasize on it, point out clearly. If you want to write it, to use it as a noun, you will say, in this case means strain. Strain in the mind or mental strain. Strain in the mind or mental strain. You can come here and give example as, my sister died of stress. My sister died of stress. That means she was too fatigued. Stress is the major cause of stroke. Stress is the major cause of stroke. Now you're using it as a noun. Right. My dear learners, Senior 1 and 2, I believe with this lesson, if you are careful and connected it to our previous lesson of ordinary homophones, then I think you have seen now the difference. Let us stop here for today, but I want to leave you with this formula. Let me leave you with this formula. When you are looking at ordinary homophones, which are not homonyms, this is the trick. Same sound, different meaning, different spelling. That is ordinary homophones. But there is a special homophone called homonyms. Here under homonyms, this is the formula. Same or similar sound, same spelling, different meaning. Then there you will have no problem in using homophones in English language. Thank you very much. Until when we meet next time. Bye-bye for today.